Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Trazana Staples here. Um, on this where I am, it's Sunday mid morning. So where I am, it's a beautiful day. It's kind of cloudy, but it's still a beautiful day. And um, I want to speak specifically today, like all the time, but some of my messages is for anybody, but specifically to stroke survivors, especially if you just had a stroke within the past year or so, especially since the COVID. I mean, we have, first of all, we had a stroke, of course, and now we're in the pandemic that could mentally, bring you down. But I'm here to tell you, find an inspiration. If you can't inspire yourself, I go outside every morning. Um, I do my exercises on a beautiful day. I will walk, but I've been I have started bird watching. And so I have bird feeders, and it started out with me feeding the squirrels. And then I started noticing the different types of birds. And my thought was the wildlife can take care of itself. They don't need me to feed them. It's just a friendly gesture to help the creatures of Mother Earth. And some of them know me because I've been going out to my backyard, feeding them, laughing, and just amazed, especially with the squirrels. The squirrels are so happy. I'm like, I want to be happy just like the squirrels, whether they are foraging food for themselves or they find a squirrel house like I have and a bird feeder like I have. And you know there are some people that want to feed the wildlife, and that brings me happiness, and that's also my inspiration. But before um I got into the birds and the squirrels, I had a lot of things that I'm inspired about. And one of them are connecting with fellow stroke survivors. I have friends from my local stroke survivor group at Drake Center. Of course, Larry, his wife Jennifer, is not in the area anymore, but we connect through cell phones, Facebook, and they inspired me. Larry and I um, went to uh, what is it, a stroke study. That's how I met them, and they inspired me to keep going and don't, because that's the key to stroke recovery. It's never to stop. And I met friends in my stroke recovery group, and then I started um, earlier on when I first got out of the hospital. I started trying to seek out um, stroke survivor groups on social media. Now I had to go through some that I found that were positive, because you don't want to be around or hear all the negative stuff and people that makes people sad. And that's, sadness is part of life, but we have to overcome that. And then um a very good friend of mine introduced me to uh oh gosh, my brain had a brain fart. I'm gonna tell you. Um, I'm sorry, my friend Alvin introduced me virtually to CJ Duvall, and I think I put a post up not long ago explaining our first conversation, and I always refer back to that first conversation because he showed me his portrait of Wink. He calls this Wink. And if you go back through my feed, you will find that story. He inspired me not to give up because it was in a low point of my life. And then my chiropractor gave me this book, My Stroke of Insight. I found more inspiration when I was able to um, put the letters versus numbers where I can read. I read it, and it was another inspiration. I'm like, I can do this. I can get through this. This past year, a fellow stroke survivor, she had written a book, and I found her on Facebook. I was just inspired by her stroke journey, and she wrote a book. She and it's a very, very good book in terms of her perspective of her stroke recovery. Pick up the peg. I found her on Facebook. Now she's on Instagram, and now she does workouts. I found, of course, um, I had to bring this up. This is my friend Greg Sawworth. He brought 10 arthurists together, one of which is me, telling my stroke survival story, just a midget until I complete my book. So this will get you started. These are just things that continue to inspire me. And then my friend Greg Graham, aka AVM Superhero, he has been debuting stroke survivors and their stories. And I try not to never miss an episode, even though, we can go back on social media, but I like to see the live ones. And he has brought uh, other stroke survivors and with their voices to tell their stories, that tell their journeys. And they are so inspiring. Every single one has been very inspiring. Greg himself is so inspiring. So we're here. I had to dig deep to find other stroke survivors, such as myself. But now, because we are collectively putting our stories, our journeys on the internet, on social media, in books, in pictures, in conversations. So if anybody is having a hard day, or if anybody just had a stroke, there is hope. There's always hope and inspiration and wisdom and workout techniques and books to read and anything for stroke survivors. We have to help each other, because I don't know about you. When I first had my stroke, I didn't have anyone to talk to about a stroke, or even someone who knew. I think we, as stroke survivors, know probably a lot more than the medical professionals, because we live this life and we know what's good for us. At least I think I do. And if you have a care team, they have to listen to you. You're in control of who you are. They can just offer suggestions and their medical advice. So I'm going to leave you today and charge you with finding your inspiration. It doesn't have to be just one thing. It can be a number of things. It can be a number of people. Just maintain positivity. Be positive. Hydrate, eat healthy, get your exercise, because stroke recovery is a lifetime recovery. We're just not going to recover and it's going to be over. We got to keep working this muscle called the brain every day. So I hope that inspires you. I hope you are continuing a healthy journey, because it gets better. Trust me, it gets better. Every moment, every day gets better. And to me, I see life in a whole new different perspective, more so than I did before I had my stroke. So I'm gonna leave you with that today. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your week. Have a phenomenal week. Peace, love, and light. And I'll talk to you soon.